Hey everyone, this is Cup of Joe Gamer here. I recently sent in my Wii U for a repair job. I'm a little behind the ball with everybody else. While everybody else next week will be buying the Switch probably, I'm gonna be waiting out a bit before I invest in something like that. But my Wii U stopped working a couple weeks ago. It would freeze on the boot up screen, and I called Nintendo, set up an online repair. And they sent it to me, and as far as I know, I'm sure it's working fine. They did say that I wouldn't be able to keep any of my save data. Have to start all those games from scratch. Hyrule Warriors. But the reason why I'm making this video is that I sent the game system in its original box. It was a collector's edition Wii U for the ZombiU edition. Came with the game and art book and whatever, and while I am lucky to have kept the stuff that was in the box, I sent my system in with the original box and everything else in tow as far as the system goes, thinking that would suffice, but apparently when you send in a Nintendo console for repairs, you have to put it in a box that you are comfortable with never seeing again. I was expecting them to ship it back in the same box that it came in, but they did not. They sent it in a brand new, just normal cardboard box here. And while everything, as far as the system goes, was taken care of, it's nice. You can see it's nicely folded back into some of these bags, nice shipping, bubble wrap and all that, and everything's back here. Like I said, it didn't come in the box it came, I sent it in, and that's kind of disappointing. I'm sure I always saw the box as a collector's item, since it was only available for a limited time as the ZombiU bundle. I got that back in 2013, something like that. And it's just, it's kind of disappointing. I was on the Nintendo trying to figure out if I could get my box back, but it turns out they recycle any boxes or anything that you put in that wasn't meant for the repair. And after waiting a while, I was on the phone for probably, what time is it? 1:15. So I was probably on the phone for a good half hour. Trying to figure out what the issue was, if I could get my box back, but it turns out I can't, since they can't determine if they recycled it or not. And while I'm grateful to Nintendo for repairing my system and sending it back to me despite not having any of my data back, that's not their fault, it is kind of disappointing that they just couldn't send it back in the box that it came in. And I was looking through the email. It doesn't specifically say that you can't send it in its original system box, and I'll probably send up a picture of the email itself. Because she said on the phone, a very helpful lady on customer support there, telling me that they would send out a second email telling me specific instructions, and while I didn't realize that those would fully show specific instructions for what I needed to do for my repair job as far as packaging. Big mistake on my part for not reading through that. I didn't even realize I had a second email. That's a stupid move on my part. I don't see why Nintendo couldn't have just sent it in its original box. I can't imagine anybody receiving a original box wouldn't want that back. So Nintendo, if you're listening to this, thank you for what you were able to do, and for those of you that may need a repair job in the future, pay attention to those emails, make sure that you are following them to the T, and don't do what I did and simply send out and assume that just what it came in is satisfactory. I haven't booted it up yet, so we'll see if it works as they've guaranteed. I'll probably put up a follow-up if that's not the case. But thank you, whoever. I think your name was Jesse. If you're listening to this, watching this, whatever, and you spoke to me on the phone a little bit ago. Thank you for being so kind. You were a great help in trying to track down what the issue was. And thank you to the guys and girls that repaired my system. But to Nintendo, maybe make that a little more clear in the email that it can't be sent back in the original box, because it really sucks. I liked that on my shelf, and I'm sure it's worth a lot of money nowadays. Just the box itself, not even including all the collector's items like the art book and everything that came with my system. So yeah, I guess that's all I really got to say. So take it easy, guys. Thank you, Nintendo, but also at the same time, kind of sucks. So, all right, take it easy.